So I'm going to show you guys how I set up the Aqua-Vu in the first hole, and then we jig in the other 2 holes. So basically, get the camera set up here. I get a lot of people that ask, how do you set up the Aqua-Vu? And guys, it's as simple as this. Get this out of my way here. So first things first, you get some line out, and you know, I marked the depth here, we're in 13 foot. So try to get that off your reel before you have to manhandle the whole thing to get it off of there. And your cables, usually the cables are marked too. They'll say like what footage you're at. I mean, my old one used to say it. I don't know if these newer ones do or not. But anyways, get out a rough, you know, about 13 feet, because that's what we're in. We're going to turn the Aqua-Vu on. And the best thing to have is some type of tripod. This is the Aqua-Vu Mopod. This one actually has a remote where you can turn it left and right, which is pretty sweet, so when you're trying to find your jig. But all you do is get it down to the bottom, and you don't want it to hit bottom, because if it hits bottom, your whole screen is full of pixels and muck, if you're in a mucky bottom, which usually you are. So you just get it right down to where you want to be at, right off the bottom. And I'm actually like perfect amount of cable. You take your cable, you wrap it in the one end of the S hook, then you put it in the other end, and you set this over your hole, and that's how we set up the Aqua-Vu. We're ready to go. I'll put the recorder on here, and we'll get recording. Okay, so now we're gonna hit record. And we're underwater. So we take the camera, we can spin it around a little bit. I don't have my remote for this one at the moment, but you can see around bottom, looks like there's a big rock right there, and that's about it right now. But what we do to find the jigs is we put usually some type of bigger jig on so you can see it a little better. Here I got one of these like little spoons on, and I'll put this in the hole right next to it. And the reason why you do a couple holes, you don't want to jig in the same hole, because it kind of defeats the purpose. You'll get wrapped up in your camera a lot, and it's just not fun. So this is on the bottom. Now what I do is I go from the bottom up, and I'll pull it up about a foot or 2, and I'll spin the camera the same time I'm looking for my jig, because I know the camera's on bottom and I know my jig's right off the bottom. And if you got really active fish, sometimes you'll see the fish come in and they'll be right there. There we go. So we found the jig. And just like that. I'll back the camera up. And you can move in your hole. You know, you can move the camera, if you have an 8-inch hole from one side to the other, that's 8 inches closer to your bait. Got a 10-inch hole, you know, you can move that camera back and forth 10 inches. But usually you drill a hole about a foot apart and you're set to go. So guys, let's start catching some fish. If you guys have really dark water, river systems, things like that, they work, but it's really, really cloudy. I suggest, you know, lakes, things like that, mainly use these on clear lakes, and they work great. If you guys are looking for one, check the description. I got a link down there, it takes you right to Aqua-Vu, and check them out. Like always guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.